Good afternoon. I'm Tatiana, a partner of the company DarWin. Nice to meet you. I ended up in this company completely by accident, but more on that later. Now I will tell you a little bit about myself. I was born in Belarus and I have been living in the Czech Republic for about 12 years now. My marital status is now I am alone, but I am not lonely. I have children, I am divorced. And so it happened in my life that at the age of 40, I was given the opportunity to build some other life different from the one I had before. Actually, what I want to say here is that, yes, here, probably in this place, I would discuss the various possibilities that exist. Concerning the possibilities that may, at some point, appear as failures or perhaps setbacks in certain circumstances. In my case, it seemed to me that at 40 years old, I experienced a complete collapse in life. To me, it seemed everything was destroyed, lost, and there were no prospects. However, in reality, in my life and experience, it was a push. And in some way, I would even say at this moment, an opportunity to accomplish some of my personal dreams, which I have always had without any uncertainty. However, in a certain sense, within the context of my marriage, family life, and raising children, I, figuratively speaking, experienced a sense of being adrift and losing sight of my own goals and aspirations, as I somehow became overly focused, figuratively speaking, on the lives of others. Therefore, as a mother, I feel fulfilled, and I believe that as a wife I am fulfilled. And now is the exact moment when I would like to establish myself as an individual who can be of service to this world. Personally, my story, this phrase, being healthy and wealthy is better than being poor and sick, it has consistently been a thread running through the entirety of my life. I am passionate about health, healthy lifestyle. Before, I completely didn't understand how to be rich at the same time. But as of today, let's say, this story, I think, with DarWin Enterprise, maybe, that is to pursue one's own dreams, having opportunities in the modern world. This is undoubtedly finances. It has undeniably and unquestionably become a reality in my life. And in actuality, when I recollect myself just a year ago, it was simply some kind of unattainable dream for me. Today it is my life. This reality is present in my everyday life. As Steve Jobs once said in his famous speech, that you simply need to take action in some way every single day and have faith in something, in your dream, and then the dots will certainly connect and lead you to success. And now I am at a certain stage where my personal points, as if they have started to connect, and when I look back, I already notice it. As I already mentioned, following the divorce, I discovered myself, let's say, in a somewhat, I would say, minimal, at best, state, and found myself face to face with the future, which was entirely unclear. I completely didn't comprehend which direction to proceed in, because prior to that, my focus was primarily on my family. I was predominantly involved with the children. I assisted my husband in his entrepreneurial journey, in his business achievements, and now I had to navigate the unknown path ahead with no clear roadmap or guidance. And it appeared typical to me at that point in time. That is the nature of my personal encounters. But somewhere I apparently made errors, or perhaps they were not errors, it was simply my path at that particular moment. However, ultimately, our narrative concluded with our trajectories diverging, and I was compelled to persist in selecting my own course with myself. I needed to comprehend and grasp what I desire, how I desire it. It was not effortless, it was fraught with risk and uncertainty. In fact, it was extremely terrifying. However, despite that, I am still thankful for this particular circumstance, because if maybe it had not occurred, I could have lacked the bravery. However, in one way or another, I began contemplating and reflecting on the manner in which I would prefer to reside. And it reached the point that I want to engage. I've always been interested in health. I've always been interested in being needed. Since I have always been passionate about it and always experimented and did it with myself, At some point, I realized that I lacked the knowledge to help people. And I actually started with the fact that I started studying. I started to receive my third higher education in the field of health. And during the learning process, I realized that I require funds in order to sustain myself, to execute certain business concepts that have already begun to emerge in my mind by this point in time. I mentioned the potential to earn money, emphasizing that for me it represents the investment market. As I had some funds remaining after the divorce, even though they were limited in amount, they still existed. I did not merely want to spend them, I desired to somehow handle them, well, let us say, in a more prudent manner. And instinctively, I immediately started searching the internet for investment opportunities, looking for some investment solutions and strategies. Not immediately, not quickly, but when there is a request and when there is some goal, then opportunities are always provided, always, without fail. And so I stumbled upon an individual through some acquaintances, reacquaintances, and acquaintances came across an individual who, his name is Vitali. He is also currently in DarWin, but at that particular time, he offered his services in the field of investment in German real estate, and I found it to be quite intriguing because I observed in him a specialist, an expert in this field, and it appeared to me that it could be intriguing, and I made a decision to become acquainted. So I made a phone call to him and actually went to visit him in person within a week, as we had initially agreed upon. He resided in Hamburg during that period. For some unknown reason, I made a decision. Why do I require this journey? Having only 5,000 euros in my pocket, for some reason, I decided to go to Hamburg and find out more about German real estate. I did it, I arrived. Ultimately, I realized 5,000 euros and German real estate aren't profitable, especially no earnings here. However, in one way or another, I managed to bring back from this trip a highly important and, as life is currently demonstrating, extremely valuable thing, which is this new acquaintance. We had a meeting, we interacted with Vitaly, we realized that we somehow think very closely in a global sense, that business is not just about making money, but also about creating value and making a positive impact on society. And since I grew up in the USSR, for me, such a setting from childhood, from youth, that business is about the fact that if you didn't deceive, didn't outsmart, then you lost. Yes, and that's why it appeared to me that this story of mine in my head, which was developing somewhere in my dreams and thoughts, is ideal, of course, when the business is established, when both sides are successful, this mutually beneficial story. It appeared to me that this is a utopia. It appeared to me that this can only exist in my head, and in reality, this scheme is actually unattainable. But one way or another, life began to show me a completely different side, and I realized that I was simply mistaken. And when I came back from Hamburg, I was greatly inspired by the new person I had met. However, after a period of 4 months, for some unknown reason, it appeared to me that perhaps my investment had been in vain. Such thoughts began to visit me. I had a very difficult financial situation, and these 500 euros that I spent on the trip were, so to speak, critical for me. It appeared to me that I had wasted my frivolity, a certain kind of compulsiveness. Maybe I had wasted it in vain, without any meaningful purpose or outcome. However, once again, in just a week or two, Vitaly reaches out to me with a brand new proposal, demonstrating his understanding of the situation and acknowledging that we maintained communication, but the real estate investment sphere did not hold my interest because my budget was inadequate, so to speak, if not to say small in size or scope. And he reaches out to me with a proposal to consider investments in the field of arbitration. The word arbitration was new to me, and when I realized it's related to the cryptocurrency market, I got scared because in my society it seemed that cryptocurrency is very risky, more often losing than winning. And in general, it appeared to me that this is from a certain type of, let us say, plane associated with a casino, indeed involving some wagers. Here you are. A portion of people succeed, but for the most part, more than their fair share experience defeat. However, in any case, I am completely convinced that you should never decline or reject the opportunities and offers that come your way under any circumstances. It is crucial to get acquainted with them, and only after a more detailed familiarity, make a decision based on a thorough understanding of the situation at hand. So I initiated the process of learning about arbitration. I initiated the process of learning about cryptocurrency. I initiated the process of learning about how to implement it in my case. I comprehended that in this particular case, my 5,000 euros, which I still possessed, were residing in my bank account, but I lacked any idea or knowledge about what actions to take or how to proceed with them here, and that is the reason why I decided to give it a try. I made the decision to try it out, and I became interested in it, so to speak, because I have been involved in sports to some extent. I have been professionally engaged in sports, and of course, I have such a strong inclination. I have a genuine passion for sports. This is why I decided to explore it further and delve deeper into the world of sports, particularly when there is a quick result that essentially cannot be touched, but can be seen in the personal account. It started to warm up, so to speak, and my worldview regarding all this, so to speak, began to expand and broaden in a profound and transformative way. I comprehended that this can be an intriguing concept. I began to lose my fear, and gradually I started to lose my fear of this financial instability that has been looming over me. I comprehended that I likely entered the stream. That is precisely where I discovered what I had always been searching for in relation to investments, yes, and I began to grasp this subject matter. Then destiny brought me together with Friedrich, who also enlightened me about the nuances of network marketing in general and how to discern the right direction and think correctly. However, my first higher education in mathematics proved to be immensely valuable and greatly aided me in navigating this field. And I am a programmer by my first education, and in fact I did not use it as a specialist, but nevertheless, after 5 years of studying higher mathematics, I finally told my brother, finally, here they are, where they came in handy for me. And thus I started to comprehend the concepts of marketing, network marketing, and the rich marketing history of DarWin, and initiated the construction of the structure. And through this method, I commenced to comprehend that you have the ability to manage money not just as a depositor, which is a subject matter that we consistently discuss. By the way, I recently learned the distinction between a depositor and an investor at DarWin breakfast events. At the first stage, I was 100% depositor, and it seemed to me that this is exactly about investments. However, in reality, later on, when I began to delve into the story, I observed the distinction, comprehended it, and informed myself that I desired to become an investor. To begin with, my primary aim is to achieve specific results. Additionally, my second goal emerged after I witnessed the profound impact of Alexander's words, which had a transformative effect on me. I was truly moved by his ideology and felt a strong resonance with his message. As a result, I am driven to pursue these goals with utmost dedication and passion. I have a story that is very close to me. This story was also my own story in the new life that I started. My entire life has been divided into before and after, and the majority of my surroundings have disappeared. And I discovered that I was in a predicament where I instinctively desired to become part of a fresh community of individuals who share my thoughts and aspirations and grow in a similar manner. And the ultimate goal is not not solely to earn and sit, like I have an association, like a samovar granny sitting leisurely on a samovar, yes, on hard-earned money, but rather to utilize money as a powerful tool that enables me to achieve my aspirations and make a positive impact in the world. Because the crucial moment for me at present of utmost importance is to be required and assist individuals, and I am actively engaged in accomplishing it. I'm currently involved in preventive medicine, discussing how to maintain health, how to restore health. As I finished my third education, I'm a certified nutritionist, and I collaborate with individuals, assisting them in maintaining their health and vitality, address and resolve your health issues. And at the same time, I am still unable to earn enough income through consultations to meet my basic needs and fulfill my essential requirements for a comfortable life. Make payments for your housing expenses so that you can avoid concerns regarding your fundamental financial circumstances. And when I started to comprehend this aspect and my financial stability, I am able to manage currently with the assistance of investments, with the assistance of DarWin, with the assistance of particularly very close to me narrative of quick money, because individuals like me are intrigued by debt investments. I am intrigued by different projects and advancement, and overall in certain new technologies. By nature, each and every person has an innate desire to leave a lasting impact on this planet in their own unique way, ensuring their presence is felt even after they're gone. Therefore, naturally, I desire to be engaged in one way or another, let's say as a discovery, if we consider the global context, or if we consider specific scales, in order to be of simple utility to someone. However, at the same time, what I appreciated about Darvino is the fact that there is a tool available for making quick money. This is an excellent tool. It is a tool that truly assisted me at a certain juncture to sense the ground beneath my feet and to experience in general that life is feasible, that life is fascinating, that there is a multitude of things around. And above all, I concluded and realized that I had gained something more, not only my financial stability, but I discovered myself among individuals who are extremely close to me in terms of worldview, because I personally dedicate a significant amount of time to my spiritual growth and development. For me, this is the foundation on which I build everything else. And this honesty, openness, decency, some support, yes, all of this, I can really feel and sense, well, within the community, I would say, within the community that is being formed under the roof of DarWin. That's why when I found out about Turkey, for some reason I told myself that I want to go to Turkey, because I want to personally meet the people I know virtually, but at the same time, I want to get to know them on a personal level as well, because personal contact is always something more than just contact. And even now, to this day, I am convinced that if there is a request, if you search for a solution, then they are always found. And it transpired in my life as well. As soon as I vocalized my intention to travel to Turkey, there manifested, let's say, an older brother who is 15 years older than me. He kept a watchful eye on me, my decisions and my actions for a period of 1 year, particularly when I began studying the subject of investments. Initially with caution, but ultimately he witnessed the twinkle in my eyes, which undeniably materialized. So it seems this is red, because even kids have told me what's happening there in your life. Nothing global happened. I still live in the same apartment. I drive the same car. But at the same time, something appeared to me, I don't know, let's say some kind of different energy. I got some wings started growing on my back. And people around me started talking about it, and my close ones started trusting me with their finances. And thus I started to comprehend that I have the capability to construct a framework and establish a certain type of business in the city of Darwin, located in the Northern Territory of Australia. I am uncertain whether it can be deemed a business or not, as I have not yet had the opportunity to assume the role of a businesswoman. Unsure, maybe everything's ahead. Nevertheless, here is the step-by-step breakdown, with some parts involving learning, some requiring asking, and some necessitating help. Because in any case, nothing came easily, it was not a simple task. But ultimately, the game is worth the effort and challenges faced throughout the process. And it appears to me that the more I involve myself in this story, the greater amount of contentment I experience. Such a sense of calmness that is typically associated with females. I don't know whether you call it intuition or gut feeling, but it is exactly the state, the feeling that I rely on to a greater extent at the moment. Because in my environment, there are people who, in addition to appearing in my life, are people who have started to believe in me, and I have started to believe in myself. People believed, but at the same time, there were individuals who, let's say, harbored doubts and still continued to cultivate fears. But I already know how to deal with these questions. I already know how to cope. And one of the key things is peace of mind. That is, I understand that there are risks, and they will be, and moreover, I have fully accepted the idea that if I invest some amount, it means that I am ready to part with this amount. To clarify, if something doesn't work out and I lose it, it will not signify the conclusion of my life. This will not prevent me, and I will handle it in a completely calm manner. That is, it was also one of the crucial points that required overcoming. To relinquish your 5,000 euros as if it's vanished into thin air for eternity. This is a tale about AB, which should always be deeply ingrained in the mind, never to be forgotten or overlooked. This does not imply that it will occur, but nonetheless it must be enacted in the mind. As of today, my 5,000 euros, they not only remained intact, they actually increased in value. And I am not going to cease sports interest. It became involved in any case, regardless of the circumstances. But I am interested, in addition to achieving some financial levels. So I will not say the peaks, of course. I am interested in the development of business in terms of health, being useful. It is necessary to help people be rich and healthy. But in the final, I want to say at the moment when I entered DarWin, I entered with very small amounts. It was 7,000 some of my personal deposits. Until now, within a time frame of 3 months, I have already obtained the 4th swimming pool in my possession. I am about to enter the 4th pool. This week I am on track to achieve the gold rank, so I'm really excited. What seemed impossible to me 3 months ago, today I say that yes, everything is possible. Here probably it is right to want. Not being afraid to lose different situations in your head, making some right decisions, asking for help. In fact, everything is very well organized in DarWin. Because as a person who knew nothing about investments, I was not afraid to ask stupid questions. I was not afraid to ask for help. And I received this help. And there was even one moment when Alexander himself helped me directly. Therefore, I desire for all individuals to move forward. I desire for success. I desire for the making of right decisions. I desire for courage to be present. Probably, I would also wish everyone good health. Perhaps not within this interview or this story, but dreams really do come true.